Let's get the show on the road.
It's Tuesday morning, and apparently there's bugs in this room because I'm swatting them away from my face. I'm joined, as always, by Joe Dog Hallam and Easy E, Eric Kearney. Today we got a guest coming in a few minutes. King of the North, Carter Mason.
You know, Rex just puts those bugs on his face for pity. If you want to sponsor Rex for less than a cup of coffee a day,
oh my goodness,
you can sponsor Rex. And in the eyes of an angel, I don't know the song. Oh,
jeez. Also, are you guys still hearing the theme song playing?
Yeah, I let it go a little while.
It just
That's
fades.
annoying.
No. Well,
not for the listeners. They love it. They request more of it.
We get a lot of feedback.
Play it more.
Really?
A lot of the feedback that listeners say, I wish it was mainly the theme song that you guys, and not you guys talking about.
It's like usually, you know what I do? I usually cut it off when the theme song ends and I start it back up when it begins.
Yeah.
That's
I would get that. Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I really love the podcast. It's just the parts, right after the theme song to right before it starts again at the end. That part in the middle there, not a big fan.
Not a big fan, but I like the songs.
Yeah.
What day is today?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
The 4th.
It's Tuesday, pal.
That'd be like the 4th or the 5th. I don't know. A couple more days. We got Dark Side of the Rings coming up on Vice. I know, I think Brian Pillman's the first episode. I watched don't tell anybody, please don't tell the police, but I watched the part 1 on, YouTube or something. It was really good. I love the Dark Side of the Rings. They're so fucking awesome. So that's going to be, they don't sponsor us. I just am like a really big fan.
I wouldn't accept their sponsorship anyways. Fuck Vice.
Yeah, I know you're all.
Why you're so, man, why you got to just have heat with everyone?
Because they piss me off. That's why.
I have a question. Is Vice the channel associated with Vice magazine? Because
yes,
I'm pretty sure. Is that real?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure didn't the Proud Boys, the guy that founded Proud Boys, didn't he?
With Gavin McGinnis and all that shit. Yeah, there's a whole thing there. Yeah, they were part of the same.
Okay, well, I'm just saying the Brian Pillman one was good. I don't know if anybody watched it yet, but the first half was pretty good, and they even had Stone Cold on there. Like when they had announced that Stone Cold was going to be on there, I'm like, well, maybe he's going to talk about his shit, but no, he just talked about Brian Pillman. So yeah, it was good so far. I'm really excited for the Dynamite Kid one. That one's going to be really good.
I have Crave, so I'm just gonna start watching it on there. Season 1 is
you're
up.
So braggy all the time. Fuck.
Oh my!
No matter what we do, he's like, oh yeah, well I have.
I begrudgingly watched it on Crave the last season.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I specifically watched it so I could see what they did with the episode I was supposed to be on, and I totally fucked the episode up by not showing up because all the like little cutaways where they show the wrestlers. Like in shadows and everything.
Yeah.
They didn't have any of those for Mick Foley or for whatever for the UWF one.
Oh.
So
you were supposed to be Arn Anderson or something?
No, Ole Anderson for a different one, but Mick Foley, I was supposed to be Cactus Jack for the whatever UWF one.
Oh, that would have been so fucking cool.
Because I didn't show up, it just screwed up the whole like vibe of the show. They didn't have as many of those little cutaways.
I would love to play Cactus Jack on Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, but you also are normal and probably show up like 12 hours before the shooting time when they.
Hey guys, that's how I would talk. That's how I talk. Hi guys, I made macaroni salad.
Welcome. Bunch of hipsters, talking about stuff they don't know anything about.
No.
Yeah, that's all they are. And you know what? I didn't like them before when we did the Vice wrestlers documentary on the CWF tours.
I thought you said they were nice then to those.
Yeah, I mean the guys that helped us film were nice, but I mean, was I really on that episode?
If
was I really in the episode much?
Oh my god!
They focused it all on the 2 native kids and Jesse Bieber and Frank Rickman. Where was Rex? If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't even have had the episode. So let's. If we
got them to sponsor this podcast, you would could you please turn yourself around if we just need you to sell. We just need
sponsor us.
No, if they did, we just need you to sell out for us, please. That's all I'm saying.
He just wants you. He wants you to admit to a sellout. He's never going to attempt to get Vice.
No, I just want you to sell it. I just want you.
Well, it's not hard to get them.
If for some reason they say, hey, we'd like to please just sell out.
If you think, you would sell out in a second.
No. I'm asking you to. You don't have to. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's not like they invest any. They don't have any money. They're not giving us any money.
You're telling me you're not a degenerate enough to sell out.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it was a good.
They're
I'm excited.
degens, bunch of fucking hipster degens, and they wear their little hats like this all up and their pants all fucking baggy, and
Please don't talk bad. I want to do one sometime.
I
don't know who I would play. Who would I play? I have no idea.
Probably Kevin Kelly if they ever do the story of Kevin Kelly.
I could play Kevin Kelly. I could play Timothy White. I could look.
Yeah. Oh, you would be a good if you shaved your head. You're a good Tim White.
Yeah, I look like a Tim.
White. Yeah. Wow. I never noticed that before.
That's dead on.
And he's a ref. I'm a ref. Like
Yo, shave your head, dye your beard black.
Really?
Yeah. I want to see this.
I don't want to do that until I know if I'm Tim White or not.
Hey, how long until you have a Joe Dog figure above you as well?
Oh, I have one, but I just didn't put it up because I thought I don't know.
We need all three of us.
Okay, I don't know. I just
I thought you didn't want us to make fun of you.
No, I just thought that'd be too marky to have my own.
You're on a show with the three of us right now, every day.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. He's upstairs. I'll bring it down for the next time we.
He's so disappointed.
Oh, you know why? Because it's part of a better display. That's the thing. It's in his personal display upstairs with Bret Hart.
It's right beside Bret Hart.
Yeah.
He's managing Bret Hart in the shrine right now.
It's with the PWA stuff. It's with the PWA stuff. We got some.
Sure.
I got Reggie up there and Elian and some of the PWA folks. We got the Highlanders and Ty Dillon.
So which action figure did you use for Reggie?
I used Junkyard Dog, and then I shaved his head, and then I took his paunch because the Junkyard Dog figure has a little gut, but Reggie doesn't have a gut. He's in excellent shape, so I just had to shave that down a little bit. And then I put the Cool Runnings gimmicks on him, like the black with the yellow stripe and the green. Well, yeah, so it turned out pretty good. His glasses got a little farked up. I'm doing a Harley race right now. I'm getting him all cleaned up, ready to go. So that'll be
Who's
King
that
Harley
gonna be?
No, King. I'm just refurbishing.
Okay.
He's gonna be Harley race before and after. Oh, I'll just go fuck myself. See ya.
Yeah, Rex just got him and walked away.
It's okay, folks. He just had to fix the door or something with the lights.
I had a kitty in the cupboard over here, and I didn't know he's in here the whole time. He just came out and he freaked out because he couldn't get out of the room. Woke up from a slumber and was trapped. Yeah.
Okay.
Starts tearing shit up. I think I should get a little pet, pig or something. They're supposed to be pretty smart.
Well, I mean, usually, people try to get pets that reflect them.
Wow.
So that's
wow.
Well, I'm just saying that's
You know what?
Dogs are more lovable
than pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they're more cuddly and stuff.
Yeah. How are you gonna cuddle a pig? That's
I know. It's just my dog fucking pisses me off because he's like, I can't. If I go outside, then he barks from the inside like, where are you going? Where are you going? Rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, just fucking lay down. It's not a big deal. So then if I let him out and then one of us goes inside, then he's like, why are you inside and I'm not inside? What's happening in there? Rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, stop barking. It's just fucking lay down and calm down. He's got anxiety for no reason. Just shut up.
No, dogs can get anxiety though.
Yeah, but he's got no literally his only job is to eat the scoop of food we give him, and then he can just lay around all day. But instead, he's all worried. Oh, is somebody here? No.
Plus, if your pig gets sick, you don't have to pay to get it fixed. You can just have breakfast tomorrow.
We just start sizzling that bitch up.
How sad would it be sizzling up your own pet pig? That's horrible.
Well, I mean, it depends on how long you had him and how long you're attached to him and stuff. And I remember seeing after the when the COVID stuff first started happening, I remember seeing this farmer who was crying on the news because he's like, we've had to kill a bunch of our pigs. It's so he's like, we've killed some of our pigs here before when they're sick, but to take a totally healthy pig and kill it, it's just a real tragedy. I'm like, where do you think they go? They go to a slaughterhouse, and he's like, yeah, but normally they do it, so I don't have to see the bloody part. I'm like, fuck you. You don't get to cry on the news about that. He was all sad because see what happens is if a pig gets too big, then they give you less money for it when you take it to the slaughterhouse. because it's over. Like they're like, oh, this is going to be too hard to process because it's overweight. So they're like, so we had to kill it because we didn't want it to get, we're feeding it all this food and the slaughterhouses were closed. So he's like, we're feeding it all this food. We got to kill him. And then he's like, oh, I had to do it myself. Wah, fuck you.
On this episode of Good God Rich Morning.
God.
Yeah.
Farm Talk. With
What
Joe Doc
just happened? First of all, why do you know so much about all of this animal shit?
No, I saw it. It came up it was on the news. This farmer, he was on the, I don't know, some feed I was watching on Instagram or something where he was like,
well, how do you know about the less money for a fatter pig?
Well, because he said it on the news report. He said, so we're feeding these animals all this food, but all the slaughterhouses are closed, so there's nowhere for them to go. So now we're feeding them for no reason because we're feeding them, and we were supposed to take them to slaughter 2 weeks ago, but the slaughterhouses are still closed. So now we just got to fucking, blow their brains out there. And it's really sad. Like,
halfway through this story, I was hoping someone would take you to slaughter.
Wow. Wow. You know what?
Hilarious.
Anyway, you get it. You get
Where is your guess? Is this going to be another Steve Brown episode?
No, he's coming, guys. Don't worry. We got
no.
guests.
No.
Gosh, no.
Oh no!
Oh jeepers, no, he'll be here.
Who used to Latka, like Andy Kaufman? He's no. That's how you said. No.
Oh, the guy from Taxi or whatever.
Yeah.
No, and also that character from Mad TV that doesn't hold up in 2021 anymore. Remember Miss Swan, who was always like,
yeah. She was so not Asian.
Yeah. So they're probably gonna pull that down for sure.
Yeah.
Here he is, folks. Everybody, calm down. Audio's not connected. Audio's connected.
Wow, that was the fastest.
That was the fastest.
Ever.
That's the record for the fastest connected audio.
Wow, you win.
Carter, can you hear us?
I thought he was frozen. I was like,
oh, I wish you had said that first, and
you're just.
Yeah. And then he just signs out. Well, sorry, bro, it wasn't working.
Oh,
how you doing, man?
Carter Mason, what's up?
What is going? I was trying to do this subtly. I can't. So 1 second.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm done.
Just everybody be cool, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can smoke on screen. That's okay.
That was. Well, that case. But no, I was turning my fan off.
He just runs over, does a bump. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I was trying to be subtle.
Smoke just billowing above my head. It's like,
trying to be subtle. It's trying to be subtle. What's up?
Hey, let's get right to the hard stuff here. See if he signs out right away. Do you remember the one time we came up with the idea on a road trip back from wherever we were of the heavy rape championship of the world?
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
What?
I don't want to do this.
We had this idea where like we'd have a bunch of us in a league where it's like the 24/7 title, right? But you can only win it. You got to rape your opponent. And it's the heavy rape championship of the world.
Oh my!
We're sorry. The number you have dialed has been disconnected.
Can I go back to being frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, it's live, Hal.
Oh no!
How did that come to be? I unfortunately completely remember what you're talking about. I can't remember.
You know what I think it was?
That came up. I know it involved Liam somehow.
Liam was there, but I think the person who came up with most of it, we'll just say this to get ourselves free of this, was Pretty Ricky Wilde. He was the one who was at the bottom of it all.
It's always
Pretty Ricky. It was Pretty Ricky.
Wasn't Pretty Ricky?
He was there.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Oh.
But we figured out also by the end of this league, like it would just, if Brock Lesnar signed up, it would just always be Brock Lesnar.
You know what? Brock Lesnar was retired champion. They got yeah.
There is no evidence that Brock Lesnar is a raper. Okay.
No, but if he was,
he'd
be the best raper.
We're saying that should he one day end up champion, who's taking
or a rapist?
The views reflected by Rex do not necessarily reflect those of Good Brother Morning.
No, I think any
I get it.
Anything about athletics would be like, okay, if there's going to be a rape league and Brock Lesnar's in it, he's going to be the champion. Like
of all time.
Yeah, who is stronger and more able to do things to people without their consent than Brock Lesnar?
Okay, now you can edit this out if you want, but like, how do you determine the rape? Like, is it got to be?
It was like a 1, 2, 3, but instead of that, it's 3 pumps in the bubble.
So you don't have. There's no completion necessarily. It's just.
No, I don't think so. That would be an added
We are
bonus.
getting way more detailed than I ever remember this getting.
I
I remember the Brock Lesnar. I remember like if Lesnar ended up champ, who's going to beat Lesnar? And we're all like, well, obviously nobody.
Yeah.
I don't remember this is getting so from.
Yeah, there he goes. He's throws it. I think Rex is gonna get a new T-shirt that says Brock Lesnar would be super hard to rape. That'll be your shirt.
This might be our last.
I love
episode.
that it's not impossible, just like very difficult.
Super hard, yeah.
Well, I mean, every so often there's going to be another stud that comes along who is just unstoppable. You know, one day he's going to be old, so someone might be able to take that championship. But for now, I'd say he's number one.
It'll be Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
No one said you had to join, Joe. Like
that's true.
Is this like? Did you send Lionel the questions ahead of time? Is that why he's not here? And I just I just got tricked into this. Like, don't tell Mason. Don't tell Mason. Just
He's like, fuck this. I am.
So remember that rape league? No. When was it a league?
Yeah,
I mean, really, the moral of the story is sometimes on long road trips and stuff.
I was about to say, as soon as he said, remember that story on the road trip? I instantly, like, nothing good is discussed on a freaking.
I have a very serious question about this. Was there a mid-card belt and tag team titles?
I don't think there. I didn't remember there being a league. So
you can have the gangbang title, and it's just like stable.
Oh my god!
You know what's so bad, but you know what's so terrible? The gangbang title actually is not worse than the rape title. Like the gangbang is like that's voluntary. Like that's you've chosen to be a part of this. Like the rape title, I take no part in, and I'm not defending. Rex and Pretty Ricky, that's the tag team right there.
Yeah, I'm not. To be fair, also, I'm not joining the league. I'll be the Dana White. I'll collect the money, but I'm not
own it. I still don't.
Yeah,
I don't
own it.
I don't think that's good. I don't think you're helping.
Dude, come on. Patreon will take us.
League is the look you want.
I
don't know. Like,
I'm not like a
bad
PR
man
or anything, but it's probably not great.
So you're saying we probably won't be able to put this on Patreon or OnlyFans. It'll probably have to be its own site.
This
like the Condemned.
How long have we been recording?
I don't know, 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
So this 10 minutes goes on the dark web and nowhere else.
Nope.
What other road trip
browser to get this?
What other road trip topics did you guys I
don't know. That took that was the best one. So
did you only do one tour, Mason?
No, I did a handful.
Oh, he's done tons of touring. Just that was the one weird show.
Were you doing it with oh my god, who was it? Ernie Todd?
Oh, sorry.
Were you doing it with Ernie Todd? Like
I don't believe I ever did an Ernie Todd tour. I did Duggan, I did Thorne, and I did Condello.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
What would you say? Okay, yeah, let's get on. These guys hate when I talk about winter road tours because
it happens every podcast.
Yeah,
I'd rather talk that than where we freaking just started. What the F?
Well, I mean, though some of those tours aren't as much better than the rape. Fucking Willie, I can't even talk. What would you say is the worst thing about doing those tours? Like whether it be Condello or Duggan or Thorne, excluding Thorne's last tours that you did because those were garbage.
Garbage how? Because I was wrestling and like I got paid what I was supposed to. Well,
garbage like in the sense of like you guys had like they weren't like solid tours, right? Like they were shorter.
They were shorter, but
so you can't get right into like the worst parts.
But like sometimes that's okay. Like I don't like I've done both. It's tricky because I've learned to just take it for how it is, and especially at that point when we were doing Thorns, I was like I guess I'm not gonna say a little burnt out, but like kind of burnt out. Like there had been no real break. So doing little spurts like that and then getting 2-3 days off was fantastic. But then I've done like 2 weeks every single night for Duggan as well. And Condello, the same thing, right? I think the worst of it is honestly the setup. Every show. I mean, not even every show, but I mean like it doesn't matter who's running the tour. I think for me, the worst part of touring is the setup for each event. Takedown, you got your adrenaline going, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, everything's over. You've had a great match.
And you can see the light. You know you're going to be in the car soon, heading to wherever.
Whatever it is, you're about to get food. You're about to relax. You're about to maybe get a couple hours sleep. Whatever the case may be, and I love wrestling, so it's not the wrestling part that bothers me. It's like the setup is you're fresh out of the car. Sometimes you're super rushed, depending how late you are, if there's traffic, if there's a problem. So you're super rushed to get set up. Sometimes there's already freaking fans there as you're bringing stuff in. I've never like been in the middle of a setup and been like, this is it. This is it, boys.
For me, like
the good stuff.
This is the life right here.
This is the good stuff.
The setups, the worst ones for me were always Thorn, because like with Canelo or like Mega Slam, any of those places, it's like a ring. That's it, right? With Thorn, he has fucking everything.
Yeah.
He's got a goddamn stage that he sets up.
Like so much shit. Like 1,000 lights.
Though, having done Thorns, Candelos, and Duggins, I don't feel Thorns was any more difficult or took any longer than what Duggan or Candelos did.
Yeah, he is quick with it. It's just more shit to carry in. That's all.
For sure.
Yeah.
But even I feel like for some reason, and I might be wrong, it's been a few years since I did that, like Duggins, but I feel like Duggins was the worst setup. Like
just ring wise, like it was just a shitty ring to set up. Like
shitty ring to set up, shitty trailer to set up in and out of. Like everything was just crummy. Like Soren might have a lot more stuff, but like it was always done quick. You're a beast too, like when it comes to setup or whatever. So you honestly you make it easier. Whereas
keep going. Keep going. I said keep going. Yes.
No, but going. You make setups and takedowns easier where like when there's 4 of us or maybe 5 of us, whereas I've had 15 of us and it's been a fucking shit show nightmare.
Yeah, it's hard. I find that's what it's like on like the first 5 or 6 shows of a long tour. It's really bad when you have a new crew. Like there's been times I've gone on the road with Thorn and his entire crew, besides like me and maybe one other person, is all new people. Nobody's set up this ring before, and it's an old fucking weird ring that he got from Ernie Todd. It's like half wood, half metal. It's all these bolts, and it's got to be set up a certain way. And if they don't know what they're doing, it's just a complete disaster. Right. So yeah, but I could see that on Duggan's, because I know Duggan switches up talent quite often. That it would be, I could see that being a problem. Like you have to have a crew that's like used to doing it every night. And then once you're doing it for 2 weeks, by 2 weeks, everyone's good. We all got our jobs. We all know what we're doing, and it's quick.
Luckily, especially like the last handful of tours I did for him, he'd be booking like a lot of like names and stuff, like ROH guys, whatever it is, and everyone would equally carry their weight, right? So they were like, that was okay. It was always the local guys that, you know what I mean, for the first time in their life weren't quote unquote local because they were on this tour or whatever it may be, right? That it was always like, bro, can you freaking grab a chair? Can you grab a beam? Can you if not,
you hear that, Rene Dupree? Do you hear that, motherfucker?
Wow.
Yeah, wow. He wasn't even on my tour, so this is Rex. Rex is going to get me blackballed from wrestling for things I did not say.
Wow.
No, I shit on him to his face about it.
Remember when you said you were going to rape Rene Dupree?
There's the audio. There's the audio.
Shit, like I actually don't recall this at all. Matter of fact.
I just want to say that if I went through a table off the stage on a Raw, I would probably tell everyone every time I ever fucking talk to them. So good for you. So good for you for not being that guy, because I would be like, hey, you guys want to see something? And I show them on my phone. It would be my desktop screensaver. I would show everyone all the time. So I just want to commend you for that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not a mark like that. Let me just
Oh, okay. You got to put it away.
If you turned to the video of you not happening, I would have died.
Oh, it's funny because that's the next segment.
Yeah, he just holds it up. There you go. Oh, anyway, so yeah, good for you for not being, for being the bigger man than me. Not literally, but
Hey.
Do you think that helped you at all with because I always said that if you're an extra somewhere and you can get yourself on TV, it's great because at least then you can work like the mark promoters and stuff into paying you more money because they just seen you on Raw. And it's true. It does help. Like I find like just getting your face on like Raw or something will instantly make like, you know, the fan wrestling promoter, maybe not the guys who've been around for years, but the younger guys who run shows who aren't really in the business.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, he was just on Raw. And then all of a sudden you're getting more bookings or more money from those certain bookings. Did it help you in any professional way?
That's a really good question. And like 99% of the time, you would be absolutely right. And I had this thought to myself, like during the 4 days, and like people made jokes and stuff like, oh, Mason's going to start charging like the friggin' indie rate now or blah, 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 whatever. Right. My rate was already like, I was already getting what I felt I was valued at. And that 3.5 minutes on Raw or whatever couple minutes it was on NXT.
Okay. So that's right there. You just, yeah, you're right. Because I was getting paid shit money. And then I went to get paid like a little bit better than shit money. So you were already getting decent money when you did the spot.
I mean, decent is whoever is like perspective, right? I was getting what I felt I was worth before Monday Night Raw. And I didn't even know, like when I was booked to be an extra, it's not like I went in there knowing I was going to end up on Raw. My first night there was, I guess it was a Saturday because Friday was Smash. So Saturday was NXT. I didn't know I was going to be on NXT. You know what I mean? And my what I was supposed to do on NXT even changed that day. Like I was supposed to be part of Mia Yim's entrance, and then it got switched over to the pull apart, right? So it's like, again, I had already was charging what I felt I was worth at that time. The last thing I wanted was to be like, no, it's $400 or whatever, $500. Like, who the hell is going to pay that? You know what I mean?
You're literally like sending like a little graphic, like as seen on Raw.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I get it. And like, if anything, I always try to be fair to any business I'm working with, whoever it is, right? So like in my head, I'm like, okay, I was just on Raw. If that then translates to more fans coming to your show, and we both recognize this, we can have a discussion. You know what I mean? If everyone's starting to show up, you're like, Carter Mason on Raw, blah, 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 we can have a discussion. But like, you're not paying me $20 already before that. I'm charging what I feel I'm worth. Did my value go up after that? Like, why would it? Beyond a couple, I got a great shine. It helps me a little bit. Sure. It got me a little bit more attention. Is it going to translate to all the companies I work for? Truthfully, probably not. So why am I going to rip them off or charge them more? You know what I mean? Again, if I see translating, then again, we can always have a discussion. But I kind of operate that way one way or the other, whether Monday Night Raw or not, right? Like if me and Lionel freaking sold out the Opera House for our feud, right? Like if I see things like that translating, we can have a discussion. And then if it falls back, we can have another discussion. Hey man, this feud's doing really well. Like maybe, you know, for this feud, it's a little bit more. And then when if things slow down again, we can revert or whatever it is, right? Like that's how I try to be.
Well, that's kind of the nice part. Like that's one of the values of that Raw appearance is not, as you said, maybe it doesn't translate into like a higher rate or anything, but at the same time, there's people that can say whatever the fuck they want about Carter Mason, and they can never ever take that away from you. That you know in the back of your head, I was on Raw, went through a table. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you think
also,
about me.
I think it legitimizes to the fans who know that it was you on Raw or whatever, like to the Opera House. It definitely puts you, like, legitimizes you in their brain a little bit. Because it's like, oh, that guy, we just watched this whole show. We've never seen any of these guys on TV. But that guy, he was on TV. We've seen him last week on Raw. And even with the Opera House, do you find, like, was it hard for you in situations, not necessarily that one, but in situations where you know you're helping the draw or you're helping sell out a venue, but if that company's already hot and selling out venues, do you have a hard time? Like, how do you negotiate that, right? Like, say if you know your guys are hot and a lot of the crowd there cares because you're at the merch table and you can tell your fucking table is a lot busier than everybody else's. How do you use that in a negotiation part? Like, how do you get more money out of a promoter or more just leverage, you know, when they can just turn around and say, well, we fucking sell it all the time because we're, you know, a good product?
That's also a really great question. And truthfully, I guess I'm super lucky. Like I hear horror stories of guys getting ripped off and stuff. And like, I would not be able to tell you the last time I got ripped off or whatever. I've maybe got like shit offers that I've turned down. You know what I mean? But I've never like been like, okay, this is what we agreed upon. I got in the DMs or whatever it is. And I show up and then they're like, here. And it's like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Like, I've never dealt with that situation.
I see it a
like,
lot more in the States. Like, I'll see friends of
For
mine who
sure.
are like main eventing a show and they're fucking the hottest thing on the show. And then at the end of the night, they got like $60 or something. It's like, dude,
Right.
what the fuck? Everyone out there was your fan. Like, you were the hottest thing on the
Absolutely.
show. What the fuck's,
Absolutely.
you know?
I feel like, I don't know. I've been lucky to work with some super professional people. Like, Seb isn't ripping me off at Smash. He's not ripping anyone off. Jordan's not ripping you off. He's not ripping me off. He's not
Yeah, I
ripping
love
Ronald
Jordan.
off at the
Jordan's
man,
great.
right? So I've been very lucky to work for a lot of great people, and I haven't really had to deal with that. I tend to, if I'm going to ask for more money, I'm like notorious for waiting longer than maybe I even should, because I want to make sure. I don't want to ask you for a raise because I had one good show and then for whatever the case may be, right? Like, I want to make sure I earned what I'm about to ask you for. So each time I approach it, I feel like that's my leverage. Like, by the time I ask, I know for sure. So my confidence is so unwavering that, like, I've never been, I guess, no one's ever turned around and been like, that's unreasonable, or even said no, like when I asked. But I'm also like, not, my jumps are, I feel, again, very reasonable. I'm not going for like, hey, you're paying me this one show, now I need $400 additional or $200 additional or whatever it is. Like, I try to pace my increments reasonably.
And for me, like, as a guy who, like, out of the group of us here, I find I would take a lot more shows just because of my skill level. I know where I'm at. But like, for you, Eric, and you, Carter, you guys, do you find yourselves taking more like just taking less bookings, even like maybe not taking certain bookings for certain promotions because you know it's not really fair that you're going to work for, say, a Jordan or whoever who's taking really good care of you and doing sellout shows and awesome. And so will you ever like exclude certain companies from even trying to get booked because you don't want to, like, you know, they're not going to pay you or be able to pay you what you would get paid at those shows?
You don't want to dilute yourself, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
you know,
or offend those promoters who are taking care of you and who are really, really professional by working like a lower end, you know, grassroots promotion that's maybe not as, you know, known in that area.
Go ahead, bro. I was gonna say,
not really for me. Like, I'm not really turning down bookings per se. I've talked to people about my rate and they say, oh, we can't do it this show or whatever, but we'll try again on the next show or down the line or whatever. And
that happens to you more than not, because I talk to you more, Eric, about money and shows and stuff. And there are a lot of times you'll just flat out say no, like, especially if it's a promotion and they're not, because you're one of the guys out of my group of friends who will not take a pay cut. You know what I mean? You want what you want, and that's what you're getting paid, unless it's like a special circumstance. Like
I've worked stuff out with like the Steve Browns and stuff like that.
Buddies,
guys that
friends,
guys that I'm close with. Yeah. But yeah, I've turned it down, and that's only since the neck injury. That's only since I came back from the neck injury. Before that, they would have offered me whatever, and I would have been like, oh, all right, well, yeah, I'll take it. But I know, same thing. I think I get paid what I'm worth. But I know that I have leverage in certain places, and I don't want to risk another neck injury for $40, $30, whatever. Right. So, I mean, not that it matters, whatever it is, 50, 60, 70, 100, $200, whatever you're getting paid. It still sucks if you get another neck injury, but I've also been able to take enough bookings where, like I was telling you before, like when we first started this podcast, I was saying that my mortgage is paid or was paid off wrestling, because my half of the mortgage, and then my girlfriend covers the other half, right? So as long as I take enough bookings to do that was all I was looking for.
For myself, I might be like, excuse me, like 4 or 5% more. I don't even like to use the word picky. Like Eric previously, and same thing before, it was before my injury. Like, I was everywhere, anywhere, but again, I wasn't anywhere without what I felt I was worth. You know what I mean? So 3 years ago, right before like the lower back and the pelvic floor went out, it was like, if there was an event, I was on it. Now it really isn't different. It really, it's really like a case by case situation. I'd say like the only things I really wouldn't do anymore are like the fair shows, you know, and things like that. And I have nothing against them, and I still fully support them. And like, I think I've done my last fair event? Probably not, you know, but like as the time currently sits, that's probably the only kind of stuff I'd be turning down. For the most part, you know what I mean? Like, again, I've never, even when I was supposed to return from that injury for Jordan, for Demand Lucha. That was supposed to be the return match, my first match back. And then the week or 2 weeks before that, and that match was in Toronto. And then like 2 weeks before that, on like Sunday afternoon at like 12, like noon, I get a call from Seb, and he asked me to come back early to wrestle like main event against O'Shea, blow off feud. There was like someone got stuck in America, couldn't make it across the border. They needed last minute replacement. First thing I did, I was like I'm cool with it, but I made this obligation to Jordan. Let me ask first, you know? So I called him, you know, are you okay with this? It's in a different freaking city, 3 hours away, 2 hours away. Go do it. I don't care. Right. So like if it ever came to that situation, if I ever had that concern, I'd approach someone like that. And again, I'm lucky that the people I work for are friggin' Jordans and stuff, you know? And for the most part, like, I feel like if I did approach someone that I currently work for with an event that they were, I don't think anyone would say no. I think it'd be more surprised, be like, really? Like, you're worth more than that, or you know what I mean? Like, if you want to do it, you have my blessing, but like, think about it. Like, I feel like I have people more like that. But again, just like Eric, there's not much I'm really turning down, especially if I'm getting my value. Mind you, again, like you said, you could get $1 million, a neck injury is a neck injury, a back injury is a back injury, or whatever it is, right? So like,
so long story short, you're not saying no to the heavy rape league.
I'm absolutely saying no.
Jesus Christ.
As long as he gets what he's valued, yeah, no, he's in.
And with that said,
I made it 16 years, guys. 16 years.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I harassed Rex to get on this podcast. I did it to myself.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to come on with Lionel.
Well, there's a whole, we could talk about that another time. Yeah, there was a whole thing. It's hard with Lionel's schedule to get him on.
He's working as we speak. That's why. So,
all right.
With that said, where can everybody find you on social media?
Social media, Mason Wrestling for Twitter, for Instagram, Carter Mason, I believe, on Facebook, Spotify. Oh, this is a new one. I haven't done this one yet. Spotify, iTunes, and Apple Music under Carter Mason. There are two of us. You will very easily be able to distinguish which one is me. I gotta go look. Go look at the other one, please. It's actually not bad. It's just very different. Very different music and appearance. But he's not bad. He deserves more than the 3 listeners he gets a month. You know. Oh wow. Okay. Go help out the other Carter Mason. Go help out the other Carter Mason. Yeah, that's where you can find me right now.
That's amazing. Yeah, we didn't even get into your music. Because I feel like you've been doing that for a long time, right?
I've been writing longer than I've been wrestling.
Oh,
wow. And you've been wrestling for 16 years?
Yeah, my first bump I was 14.
Holy God.
And I'll be 32. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes because I was no, wait, longer. I was 17. I started in 2005. It's 15 years.
I'll be 32 on Tuesday.
I'm 33. If you started at 14, then yeah, I started at 17 in 2005. It's been 15 years or 16 years, something like that. So yeah,
it's like almost 18 years, 17 years, somewhere in there. We're not going to get specific. Yeah, I've been wrestling for a while. But I started I recorded my first song in a freaking basement when I was like 20, and then when the pandemic hit, my best friend, literally the same level as Lionel, they know each other. Actually, Lionel goes to the studio all the time now too. He bought one of the biggest studios in Toronto the week before lockdown. So when lockdown hit, I just was like, well, let me help you set up. And me and him just literally set that shit up. And I started recording a little bit more professionally there. He grew because he was really starting to work with a lot of the top artists in North America. So his ability was growing, which makes me sound so much better than I actually am. And then just like wrestling, just like anything ever, like the more you do something, the more you fine tune it. You know what I mean? Like there were a lot of like before I released my first song, I think I made somewhere between 20 to 25 songs over the last year that, I mean, I sent to a lot of people. Like Bennett got a lot of songs just for the critique and feedback. And they were like so auto-tuned heavy. And there's like a technique called melodyning where like you adjust the vocals and stuff. That was so heavy on all those songs to where now like there's barely any auto-tune. There's no melodyning at all. Like we don't use it. And that's to learn how to use your voice the same way you would learn how to do a headlock or a tie up or something. Is kind of cool in that regard. But yeah, it's been fun. It's just been something to keep me freaking creative. If you've ever been on a road trip, sorry Rex, or a car ride with me ever, you know I love my music. You know what I mean? Like it's just part of me. I would have gone freaking insane without it. Like no wrestling. Like wrestling is so creative. We are creatives. We are artists, right? So like if we lose that as someone who has ADHD, who has a very hyperactive mind, like to have no outlet, and then you take the gym away from us too, whoo, it would have been a wrap. So I was super blessed that like he had just gone in the studio and I was able to have that outlet up until now and continue to do so.
Awesome.
And that's a perfect segue. And Joe Dog, thank you for sending me the link because he's way more on top of the shit than I am. But yeah, that's our song to get us out of here is Straight Talk by Carter Mason. So thanks, Carter, for being here. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
It's not safe for you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace, none in my league. You out of place, I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, it's not safe.
I actually wrote this song about Rex.
Leaving the scene with no trace, none in my league. You out of place, I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state. Yeah. Best of the was, best of the is. They got me upset, they got me pissed. It's just talk, it is what it is. You can't take a joke, you act like a kid. I might seem calm, I'm psycho, they say. Vicious.